So I wanted to show you guys a few things about how to edit these homepage areas. The first thing I'll show you guys is, let me get out of here. So reminder, if you've gone in to edit something and you want to get out, just hit discard checkout if you don't want to save the changes you just made. So here I am. I wanted to show you the different styles for this spotlight area and ways to go in and edit in the HTML so that the formatting doesn't get messed up and you can properly read the HTML to know how to edit it. So the first thing I'll show you is Westerns. Monticello and Western both have a similar layout. It's more basic than others. So first, when you put your cursor in this area, then go to HTML, edit HTML source. Now once you're in this area, you can ignore anything from here up. That, anytime you see table or any of that kind of stuff, that's the formatting, the HTML we put in there to format this template. So when you start seeing the H4 tag, or in other examples I'll show you, when you start seeing this option, that's when you start editing. So here you don't need to change Spotlight, that's the header there. But then these items where you start seeing a P tag, that's a paragraph tag. This is a header tag. So for example, header 1 would be the heading at the top of a page. This is H4, it just means it's a small heading, smaller font. Anytime you open and close, just a quick note, anytime you open and close something in HTML, so say we did have another H4 here, you open it and then you close it with a / and repeat the same tag. So that's what I would suggest, is just to open. Whenever I add something, I'll show you I open and close it, and then I work in the middle of it just to make sure I always close it. If you don't, it'll do funny things when you look at the page. So say I wanted to change one of their news items here. You have two paragraph tags, and say I want to change whenever you see an href, that's a hyperlink, that's a link. So here's the link, and if you copy all the way until you get to the next quotation mark, that's the link you paste in. I'm going to delete it to show you how to do it. Then you see this arrow, and then you see the closed A, which means we're closing out the link. Anything in between those two arrows, all of this is the text that displays for the link, so it's the hyperlink. So I'm going to remove this text except the little arrows, and I'm going to put in new MVC 29 feature. And then I'm going to go over here and just grab a link real quick to paste in and show you all how to do that. So I copied the link. I'm going to put my cursor in between these two quotation marks. Close out of that because it's taking forever. So I put my cursor in between those two quotation marks. I'm going to paste in the URL I just had. Now if I click OK, you see that feature here now because I've made that edit in the HTML. The formatting stays the same, nothing gets messed up. So then say you want to change, or say you want to add a new item here. So you'd open and close your paragraph. I'm going to create the URL, HTML. And then here I'm going to put in text here, and I'm going to put in paste link here. So that's the basics of how to add a new one. Underneath their important information, you see the next H4. That means you're in the second column here with important information. Now anytime you see UL, that stands for unordered list. So that's what gives you this bulleted list look. So an unordered list, you always open it, and then you close the unordered list, so you'll see UL down here. And then each list item begins with LI, list item, and closes with an LI. So in between there's text and links and everything. So say I want to add a new list item, because really here you'd either be deleting a list item or adding a new one. So I'm going to show you how to add a new one. So I'm going to open and close the list item. Oops. And in the middle I'm going to put in, I'll say parent portal information. I'm going to click OK. So that text shows up here. Say I want to link to a document that I've already uploaded to the documents library, a PDF or something. So I'm going to copy the text, I'm going to insert link, and then I'm going to and I'm going to select just a random PDF, say I've uploaded this one, click OK. So now that link, this area that I just added, this list item I just added is linked. I'm going to click display icon. So that's what you would do to edit this style, and that's kind of the basics of the HTML editing. So I'll show you now. You have to publish the page, obviously. I'll show you now one with a picture. So Burley has a picture of the week they have on here. It's very similar as what we were just doing, but one thing you want to know is that this picture is 160 pixels wide, so it's very small. So what I would suggest is when you're uploading this image to the images library at the root of the site, you're going to want to resize it so it's only 160 pixels wide, and do it properly in Photoshop, upload it, and then you can change the picture here by doing it from either, I would do it from SharePoint, so you've already published the image in the images library, but you could change the image here, and if it's already 160 pixels, you know you're not going to have any weird formatting issues, because that's how you would change that the best way. Next, you would go into the format text area, and you'd go to edit the HTML. So same thing here, you see we have the picture of the week, and then this is where the image stuff is here, and this is an image tag in HTML. It gives you the width and the height and all of that. Your alt tag here, and then the source is it's linking to where that file was uploaded on the site. So then the next column is the school spotlight column. You see another H4 tag here. You see another unordered list here, so you see this list item. You could add another list item, so say they either want to delete this one or they want to add a new one. You also don't need a break tag here. I'll show you break tags. I'll explain them in the next one where we have the sticky note. But so say you want to add a new one, you want to make sure you go above the closing of the unordered list and you'd add a new item here. Same thing as I demonstrated before, you could add a link, or you can, if it's just text, it's just text, or you can add a link from SharePoint by using the insert tool here. Over here, they change this every week to demonstrate the days of the week. So the best way to change that would be in the Edit HTML area to go in this list, each list item, and say, okay, well next week we have the 25th and the 26th and the 27th, and change it really easily there, and then change whatever these days are. But if you work within these areas, you're not going to mess up. There won't be any weird spacing issues or anything like that you'll have to deal with. And then again, you'd publish the page. Next, we have the sticky note option. The sticky note option is pretty commonly used across the elementary schools. So again, you put your cursor there, edit HTML source. You see that you have the sticky note. You know you're working in there when you see the H4 tags, which is the red header title for the sticky note that you see there. The P tag is the gray text you see in the sticky note. So then this is where I was going to call out and talk about break tags. So this is a line break tag. The reason there's a line break here before you see the link, the URL, the hyperlink for watch the story, the news story, the reason you see a break tag there is because it's all included within the paragraph text. If we added another break tag, it would push it down an extra line, so it would have a space between it. Because it pushed it off the edge, when I did this, I just put one break tag there so that it was moved one line below but didn't have a space between the two lines. So that's what break tags do. Next, here on their page you have the AES and the news, and you have two paragraph tags here. Same thing as I demonstrated before. If you want to change the link, you can do it within the two quotation marks there. You can add a new item if you add a new paragraph tag. Say you want to add a new paragraph at the end of this, you want to make sure you're working above this TD, which is closing out that second column. So you'd add a new paragraph here, and then either text, add a link, anything you want there. And that's how you'd add a new item. Again, you want to make sure you're working before the closed out TD tag, which is that second column. Then, one thing to mention real quick, anytime you see this image class, which is comes right after the hyperlink, that is signifying the PDF icon right here. So that's something that you don't necessarily need to worry about when you're editing here, unless you're inserting, like you're changing this and removing it, and you're inserting a link to an external site instead of a PDF document or something. Then you would want to remove this item right here. The last thing, this is the third column, upcoming events. This just says view the calendar for information. So yeah, then you just click OK. You can see I added more text here. It looks like it added, I'm going to see what it did just now because it pushed down. Let's see. I think it's fine. It looks like it pushed down the header here, but if I publish the page, I'm sure it looks fine. So yeah, so that's the basics of how to understand reading the HTML, how to properly align everything, and edit so you don't get any weird formatting issues. Of course, you publish the page when you're done. And if you ever have questions about HTML, or if one of your sites has a different layout here, or template that's unique, and you have some questions, just let me know.